Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about old and new OP items in League of Legends. So first item we're gonna look into is gonna be Deadfire Grasp. Now this will cover why Riot made these items and why did they not nerf them just when they were released, and why do they keep making this? Okay, so first I want to show you a bit about every item specifically. So we'll look at Deadfire Grasp first. Let me just get that up on screen. Yeah, perfect. So first we're gonna look at Deadfire Grasp, okay? This is an old item, by the way. This was removed. And I have to say, this was very toxic when it was a thing. So, the item reads basic stats, ability power, and 10% cooldown reduction. This was changed in the past, but we'll see that in a moment. So, the active, and this is an active, was unique, deal 15% of target maximum health in magic damage and applies the debuff Doom that amplified your damage by 20% for 4 seconds, okay? This was a 90-second cooldown, so it had a decent cooldown, but if you read the statistic here, it was very gold efficient. Dealing 15% of target current health is amazing. You can even shred tanks with this, and it was amazing in the past. And just imagine, just picture this: you buy this item, even first gave you 120 ability power. That's almost like a fucking Rabadon's. Well, it was a Rabadon's, but it had the passive effect, so you know. But still, this was amazing for any mage. So let's say you took this on Veigar, okay? This was the most common champion you bought this on. You took this on Veigar, you pressed this item on any squishy target, and then you ulted them. They died instantly. It was crazy. It was beyond crazy. It was broken. And that's why Riot removed it. Now, I'm gonna show you a video of how a Veigar felt after making the Deadfire Grasp, okay? Just please. Okay, so I think you get the idea, right? This was broken, okay? And oops, sorry. And it was so broken that any AP, you could even build full AP Malphite with this. Full, just type this in, full AP Malphite. You could even build Pantheon, any champion that had just one ability with AP was good with this item. Just watch this Cosmo. Is Deadfire Grasp, damage, ult, Q, E, and that's 15. Oh, there's 20% left, and he was tanky. That was late game, guys. That was late game. If you use this item in mid game, it would have killed anyone. That made every champion snowbally with this. Buying a Rabadon's or something else with AP on top of this made it crazy. But Riot removed it because they realized, fuck man, this is breaking the game. It's not good, it's bad. Yeah, 101. So they removed it. Now we're gonna look upon another item that brought cancer to the game, so to say. The Black Cleaver. So we still have the Black Cleaver, right? It's what you see here, okay? It's this guy. So 30 health, it's 55 attack damage, pretty good. 20% cooldown reduction, amazing on any caster, 80 caster, okay? It brings any champion with 6 stacks to 30% armor reduced. Pretty good. It has the rage passive, both unique, okay? You have to keep that in mind, they're both unique. It has the rage passive that gives you a bit of movement speed, makes most champions that were very hard to master, like let's say Jace or Urgot, because yeah, it's Urgot. So or even Hecarim that don't see play right now. So yeah, it's pretty good. But imagine if that passive, the effect in which you reduce the armor, wasn't unique. Just read this, guys. Passive, dealing physical damage to an enemy champion, reduces their armor by 7.5% for 4 seconds. Going up to 4 times, that's actually 30% like live values right now. But it was 4 times, so you had to deal 4 basic attacks or 4 physical damage physical damage abilities to get this to full stacks, okay? And sure, the stats are a bit worse with 50 health, 5 attack damage, and 10% cooldown down, but it had a stale 15 armor penetration, and this wasn't unique as it is for some items today. This was stacking, so you could actually just stack any amount of Black Cleavers and get full value. We'll watch a video of a very popular guy, just Kiori right here, and he explains this exactly, just perfect.
4 times, and this is a stackable passive. So with 5 Black Cleavers, you can shred 150% armor, dealing true damage on top of the damage you're already dealing with spells. So
okay, so you get the idea, right? You could deal true damage, but that wasn't just true damage. It was true bonus damage. So Pantheon was broken as heck, man. Dealing 150% physical damage. Having their armor reduced by 150%, plus the armor penetration you have, that's flat armor penetration, and as you know, percentages go before the flat amounts. So you first reduced 150%, that's more than total armor they have, okay? And then you reduced even that, and going into the minuses in armors gives you a heck ton of bonus attack damage. That's crazy. It's literally crazy. And having that on champions like MF and Pantheon was beyond broken. Pantheon with his E, MF with her ult, they both dealt physical damage, and getting those Black Cleavers stacked was easy as pie. But obviously that was broken, and then changed it to what it is today. Now we can argue that not even today this item is balanced, but it's a heck ton of more balanced than it was before. I mean, It's unique. The effects are unique, and you don't get flat physical damage, physical armor penetration. And that's, thank God that happened. Now we'll go through 2 more items, as you can see here. We'll go through the Bloodthirster. So the Bloodthirster, you know it. Today you get a shield. Okay, so let's look at it in today's format. So you have you get plus 20% lifesteal, of course. 75% attack damage, 75 attack damage. Not bad, not bad. And if you overheal, you get a shield. Pretty nice, right? Any ADC would build this if they need defensive stats. It's not cheap, so you can get it like in the late game or in the mid game if you really need it. So it's pretty good, okay? It's, no one can argue that this is balanced. It's okay, it's fine. Plus you have some addition with the Warlord's Bloodlust, Keystone Mastery, so it's nice, okay? But what if it was cheaper? So before this, Bloodthirster cost Bloodthirster costs 3,000. Okay, you see here, it costs 3,000 gold. That meant like 2 less kills to get it, or 20 less minions to get it, right? Roughly. And it stacked the percentage lifesteal. Not only that, but you could stack Bloodthirster, like having 6 Bloodthirsters meant you had around 48% lifesteal. 48% lifesteal. And that increased actually, because you could stack it to 40 multiplied by 8%. That's crazy, man. You could lifesteal for days, and building this made champions like Sion, that had a lot of flat attack damage, crazy. You could stack this on any ADC. You could stack this on Tryndamere. You could stack this on any champion that had any attack speed boost, and they could lifesteal for days. It was like they were in a fountain when they were fighting you, and the damage was insane. I have to mention that old Sion had a passive. So very, very, very old Sion had a passive that when you activated it, you dealt damage to yourself on each basic attack, but had increased attack damage, and you had an ultimate that increased your attack speed, so it was a steroid, increased your attack speed and your lifesteal. And not only that, you could lifesteal anyone around you. So if you had 3 or 4 allies around you, and you lifesteal on every fucking enemy with something like a Tiamat or something like that, you could actually heal your team like having a Fiora ult activated, and your ult lasted longer, and it affected everyone, and you dealt so much damage. It was insane. So they changed it to what it is today. After a lot of changes, it is what it is today, making it a balanced item, and a item that you only buy either on glass cannons to get some more defensive stats, or you buy it on ADCs to get the defensive stats that you would need in the mid to late game, right? So we've reviewed Bloodthirster, we've reviewed Black Cleaver, we've reviewed Deathfire Grasp. that were these were some items that were broken. Some may argue that there were other items that I haven't included, and I would really appreciate any comments regarding that. But we also have to talk about Winso's Rage Blade today. This is another toxic and very, very unneeded item for the specified champs. Why? Why would you give hybrids a way to push even more than they already do with Winso's Rage Blade? Why am I saying that? Okay, so let's read the items first. So you have plus 30 attack damage, plus 40 ability power. Nice stats, right? You need that on any AP. The cost, it's not that much. It's 2080. So you can buy this, just have it stick there, gives you some AP 80. Unique. Basic attacks grant 2 stacks of rage. Rage, that we'll talk about later. A stack grants 8% attack speed, plus 3 attack damage, and 4 ability power for 5 seconds, right? When you max that out, you get 64% attack speed, 24 attack damage, and 32 ability power. So that's like fine, right? You get what you need for most of the hybrid champs like Jax and Kale, as they say here. Okay, but what if they gave you more? And here's the funny part. Unique Winso's Rage. Deal 20 plus 15% bonus AD. That includes the damage you get from the Winso's Rage Blade. Plus 7.5 AP on hit magic damage. And that's not only to the target, it's also to nearby units. And the radius is, I think, larger than Tiamat. I'll have to check that after the video, actually. But or you can tell me, sure. And this works on ranged champions as well. Well, sure, they give you 1 stack because you're ranged, and you can get more basic attacks in. But you could just do this on minions, and then start a fight, and then have the Winso's Rage activated. And if you keep at 8 stacks, you have Winso's Rage. So it has no cooldown, it has no limit, nothing. You could just do this every day of the week, not having to worry about wave clears or I don't know, champions attacking you, because you would do more damage than they could output anyways. And the champions that have attack speed steroids or have attack speed in their kit needed, like let's say Jax has an attack speed steroid on his passive, right? Or Master Yi, as you have seen, Rage Blade Master Yi is a thing on ranked play, right? This makes most champions great. Most champions that have attack speed steroids or basic attack resets. What if you stack that with Sated Devourer on junglers? That gives them insane jungle clear, insane combat stats, and damn it, insane damage on squishies. They could literally go in on any squishy, kill it like really fast. You can't even comprehend because the damage is coming too fast on you. And then you could fight anybody else building either spell vamp or lifesteal with the damage you have and attack speed, and have insane AoE damage on anyone. That's crazy. Now before this, Rage Blade wasn't that OP. Okay, so it gave you 4% attack speed and ability power and attack damage, right? So it it had just this effect, which I think it's really good. It's fine. Doesn't give you too much stats. It doesn't change the champion itself. So if the champion, let's say, had wave clear issues, it would still have them, but with the boost, because you have the attack damage and attack speed, but you still have to single target the wave to get it cleared. If you don't buy, like, let's say, Tiamat or other helpful stuff. But the Guinsoo's Rage is just too much on this item for the cost. So they could either increase the cost, I would say, or get rid of the passive, because it's too much just for one item. It's too much to get that, and for this cost. So sure, they have implemented this. They haven't fixed it, or they didn't even touch it in the past patch. Champions like Jax, Xin, Master Yi, and Kog'Maw, as you all know, are very toxic on, as you may know, are very toxic on ladder right now, and some lower elo players have issues dealing with that. So you could either ban these champions or leave one out and maybe have it in the enemy team or in your team and see them wrecking faces. Okay, now let's get to the other part of this video. That's why did they do that? So sure, some may say an honest mistake on Riot's part, but I sincerely doubt that's just a mistake made by them, since they keep these items around for patches. Like, if the item broke the game, like in the case of the Vlad Leona thing, you could actually search the web for that. So I'll explain here. But what the Vlad Leona thing was, that if Vlad used his W when Leona used her E on him, because you are not stunned, you're just interrupted that split second. If you did that, the game just blacked out. You were kicked out of it, and the game just disappeared from the Riot servers. That was like breaking the game itself. So if an item did that, they would instantly remove it, because yeah, well, players couldn't play the game. But what they didn't see is that if an item ruins the game so much that you don't feel the joy of playing it, then it's like breaking the game itself. Sure, some players know how to deal with it. They kill the champion early, or they get enough CC on their team to stop that specific champion or champions in the enemy team from, well, wrecking their own team. Yeah, sure, you can deal with that. But what if not? What if players don't know how to do that, and they still can play good their champion or be good at the game, knowing some aspects of it, like how to counter a specific playstyle in a champion? Well, the playstyle these items bring is not a healthy one. So being able to 100 to 0 someone in just 2 or 3 seconds, like these items did, there's no counterplay there. So if you are playing by yourself and your team or yourself don't know how to deal with this, you should still have a way to come back. So coming back from being behind, or let's say losing in champion select, is a thing that should be available in this game. Whereas if some champions build these items, they can come back in the game. So they have a fail-proof strategy with these items, and that's just not gameplay. They just mechanically do what they're told and get results for it. And I think my personal opinion, that's not how a game should be played. A game, in my opinion, should have a broad variety of how to deal with champions. And this is talking about players that just take the advice and use it. Let's look at players that already know the advice and can get even better. So let's put these items on pro players. That's insane. They know how to use them, they know how to abuse them, okay? Taking Guinso's Rage Blade in a split push champion and a team fight champion. God, that's broken. So if you build this on any champion and then go tanky on it, you could fulfill 3 roles in your whole team. You could be the tank, you can be the damage dealer, and the assassin, that allowing you to split push, to engage, and to keep a fight going. You could even delete 2 characters without you even being close to dying due to items like this. Well, sure, you might argue that Fire Grasp was single targeted, but still, getting out one champ can mean the doom of another in the case of ADC and support. And that's not healthy for this. So why did they keep these around? Okay, because I'm kind of drawing too far from the subject. So why did they keep this around? So let's think. If players were to be at the same level constantly, right, and the meta would stay balanced, then it would create a very, very spaced out class for people. So players that are bad, not really bad, just bad, they don't listen to advices, or they have their own plan and go with it. So bad players that think they know everything and do it wrong anyways, or they do something wrong knowing it, would still be placed real low, and keep the others that are trying to go back up on the ladder, or even in normal play, you still meet these kind of people. Then the players that really try can get higher, so they would have something. They would need something to turn them into a hyper carry, and hyper carries, I mean carries that I mean champions or items that can make you carry the whole game. So getting the game to a winning position. Like let's say an item that allows you to split push, like Guinso's Rage Blade, or an item that instantly deletes another fed character from their team, like Fire Grasp, or an item that gives your whole team an advantage just by buying it, like Black Cleaver, because the armor reduction wasn't only for yourself, it was for your whole team, like it is now. Or something that could keep you alive enough in a fight to get enough damage on the enemies, so that the rest of the team can finish the game, like let's say Old Bloodthirster, right? So these items are needed for players that can't rank up because of their own mistakes that they keep making, or their inability, or their teammates that are literally trying to keep them low. Not intentionally. I'm sure that nobody is stalking anybody and keeping them on low ranks because they want to, right? Right. So these items are needed for players like this to advance. I'm sorry, but I think I'm a bit sick. Apology for that. Anyways, getting back to what we were talking. So keeping these players ranking up is important, because otherwise, well, Riot would lose player base. So low ranked players would stop playing because they would realize it's pointless. They can't get anywhere. And by introducing items like this for, let's say, month, 2 months, a half a year, or even a year, an entire season, that is, keeping these items around lets players rank up to a point where they're satisfied, where they want to keep playing the game. Good items make good champions. Good champions make players wanna main them. Maining a champion makes you want something from it. Like, if you have a car, you want it to look good, right? If you have a car that you like and works, you want it to look good. So you paint it, you get in new tires, you make it look good, smell good, any kind of things that make your car embody what you want it to embody. And in a game like League of Legends, you have champion skins. So making a champion overpowered makes people want to play that champion, which brings them to making it look better, which brings that to buying skins. And buying skins brings a company like Riot Games money. Now I'm not trying to antagonize Riot Games. They are a very prosperous company. They know what they want. They're not trying to break their own game. They just want to keep their player base and want to keep selling stuff, right? So that's just business, nothing personal. Still, with this plan in mind and eventual balance changes, they can keep their game going. That's how they keep their game going, actually. So I'm sure in the coming week or month, we'll see Guinsoo's Rageblade brought to a balanced state, gold-wise or stat-wise. But why did they introduce these items in the first place, or why don't they remove it like they did with Deathfire Grasp? Well, some items may have a emotional weight on the company. Guinsoo's is, I think, one of the Riot developers. Anyway, an important person for them. Like Athene's Unholy Grail, which was inspired by Athene, which played League of Legends. Okay, so keeping these items with the same name around is something Riot has done for a long time. Because, come on, it's their game, they can do whatever they want with it. But they still want to keep you focused on the game. So Guinsoo's Rageblade is a win-win item. Bloodthirster was a win-win item, like Black Cleaver as well, Deathfire Grasp as well. Deathfire Grasp got so much hate that it needed something radical to balance the situation between the company and its community. So they did something radical and removed it. Introducing Luden's Echo, which was the go-to item if you did not want to buy Deathfire Grasp. And later on, transforming Luden's Echo into the AP jungle item. That worked perfectly. So it gives you wave clear, it gives you damage, it gives you anything you need. Which is perfect, right? I don't think Luden's Echo was a broken item. Sure, it had some problems in the past. It was fixed with lower ratios on the passive effect. So it's fine. I don't think that's a really needed change, though it might need some changing considering how champions start to play right now. So if we sure, let's go on a tangent here and look at Luden's Echo. Yep, 100 plus damage. That's movement speed, pretty good for kiting. 100 ability power for around the same cost of a Zonia's. with pretty much similar stats, and it's just 3 bolts from the from general target. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is a good item. And also it has a condition like a cooldown to have 100 stacks. Yeah, this is a balanced item. This is actually a very balanced item. Anyways, going back to what we were saying. So keeping players focused on the game, concentrated on the game, and bringing old champions into play. So now this opens up the final topic I wanted to talk about, opening variety. So giving good items to underplayed champions is a tremendously well done thing for Riot. If Guinsoo's Rage Blade wasn't added to the game, you would only see champions like Jax. Well, Jax was still played, but champions like Kayle, Kog'Maw, or Master Yi only in the very lower brackets or in normal games. These champions have had their problems in the past, and by fixing them, they had to reduce some of the power they had. Sure, Master Yi was still good, but you would have to have a really specific knowledge of the champion to play it. So that included a lot of games, and at first Master Yi was released to be a simple champion, and by simple I mean easy to learn, easy to play, easy to master, right? So Master Yi has one damaging ability. The others are passive effects or steroids, like his E or his R, and his W is a very straight up defensive ability. You go into a stasis, that means you can't move, and you heal and take 50% reduced damage. So if they start focusing you, you can still buy time for your team to help you out. So that's really good for a champion. It's healthy, it doesn't bring anything bad to it, and it's kit. But giving him an item that also gives him more wave clear, more damage in the fight, and more stats is really bad, because giving him more than he already has makes him better than he was before. Complementing strong points with stronger stats makes the champion broken, right? And also having him be easy to learn and easy to master is another bad thing that's happening with these types. Kog'Maw was really difficult to learn and to play. It needed a lot of protection, it needed peeling, you had to keep an eye on him not to die because he was most of your damage. And he can put out constant damage with his recent change to the W, that's attack speed, range, and percentage damage, and the fact that he can go over boundaries with his W, so making the champion unique in its own style, and giving him more stats with an item like Guinsoo's Rage Blade, even faster than any item that you usually bought on him, because before a Rage Blade you would go Blade of the Ruined King first item, right? Or Hurricane, Runaan's Hurricane, if you wanted more AoE damage. But giving him Guinsoo's Rage Blade complements all these strong points that you would take the champion for. So you would take Kog'Maw for raw damage, right? And constant damage. Complementing Hurricane, adding Hurricane to that kit would give him a bit of AoE damage, something that he was lacking before, aside from his ultimate that costs a lot of mana. And if you don't want to keep spamming your ultimate that has been nerfed recently, then you want something to make that AoE stronger to make the champion viable, because being a hard champion, hard to master, you would not see players playing him aside from top of the ranked system, right? or picking him as a counter more than comfort pick. And also, bringing champions back makes their skins come back. Like I said before, bringing the company more profit out of that. So the borderline here, the bottom line here, sorry, my English is pretty bad in the morning. So the bottom line here is that bringing stuff back and making players notice something. Wait, let me think this through. So they want us to be playing the game, and they are willing to make sacrifices to increase their profit, and that is why they keep items like Winsows, like Old Black Cleaver, like Old Deadfire Grasp around. Having some of the player base notice these as bad and unhealthy changes to the game is a compromise that they are willing to take to keep their game and champions and skins going. This is a fabulous way to keep your own game popular by bringing old champs, interesting champs. Because let's be honest, Master Yi has a lot of background. Jax is very mysterious in his way. Kog'Maw is a very fun champion to play. Like, melting people's faces always was fun for players. Having that output of damage is crazy and feels so good when you do it, even though you know it's bad after the game. Keeping players playing the game by letting them rank up a bit with these strong items. It's not destroying the game itself. It's just giving a new perspective. Sure, it's unhealthy. Sure, it makes it, well, kind of unsatisfying, because playing for a lot of time makes you want something more stable, and having I don't know, toxic things happen in the game might make you want to change the game itself, but that's only after you've played a lot. As a new player, you would find it very hard to understand items, builds, champions, and kits that fast. Giving you a stable line of items, because come on, building these items was basic knowledge. So having strong items, so having something good to make you better is generally well known. Having something that makes your work or the way you look at things easier for you, it's something that you've always wanted. That's what every company is trying to do nowadays. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Whoops. But yeah, back to what we're saying. Riot is pushing these items on us because they want to keep players playing, stuff selling, and champions being played. This is their way of making their game interesting and keeping the game fresh, because generally you get bored or things, the meta, it's just the same across months of play, and bringing something explosive like broken items or items that are broken on specific champions brings those champions into play. So yeah, I'm starting to go on a tangent here, and I think this video is long enough. Bottom line, items that are OP or strong are needed in a game like League of Legends to keep the game fresh. What I want Riot to see, and you guys, is that change is good, it is needed, but it needs more change afterwards, if that makes any sense. Anyways, I also wanted to tell you that I'm changing some of my videos to a new series that is Game Insight, and I will, if you like this, I will keep doing videos with Gaming Insight whenever I kind of get requests from you or I get a new idea. I will try and push that into this series. And yeah, leave a like, share this video if you want to, favorite it, I don't know, dislike if you didn't like the video, leave any comments with your insights and I will make sure to read it. If you think I did not cover everything in this video regarding items, please let me know. If you think I should, if you have a different opinion regarding this matter, please let me know again and I will make sure I update anything or get back to you as soon as I can. So that's all of it for this video. Have fun in ranked games and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.